Hello, everybody. I'm Jay Lynn, and welcome to episode 2 of season 3 of my Minecraft survival world here. And if you watched episode 1, you might remember I ended off in a pretty dire straits when it came to food and armor. So I did go ahead and harvest my wheat field here and got some bread. Still not looking too great in the food department. And I do have enough iron on me to go ahead and make a set of iron here, because today's going to be a little different. I was planning on just doing another big episode with a whole bunch of building progress, getting some details done. So I did kind of lie last episode when I said that's what I'd be doing. But actually what I'm going to do is work on lighting up that giant cave I found and just doing some cave exploration. And I got to be thinking that every time I've edited that, it's just always kind of tough. So I thought it'd be fun to just make it its own episode rather than trying to squeeze it into a 1-minute section of another episode, because I have a feeling this cave is going to end up being a very major part of my world. So I kind of want to document my first time exploring through it, because as you can see, we've got a humongous cave here. I kind of dropped into some craziness right away, so I didn't get a chance to really take it in at first glance, but you'll be getting plenty of views here. But yeah, my plan was just try to get this all lit up as well as I can, and my strategy is always just to keep on moving and placing torches. And I did a lot of torch placing. Got this really cool moss area over here as well. It's just a really cool cave system, and a whole nother area down there that will get lightened up here in a second. You can see I gathered quite a crowd at this point, so that's why I just keep on moving. Now with getting the perimeter lit up at least a little bit, I'm thinking you can kind of get a better idea for the scale of this thing. I know YouTube just makes caves really dark and hard to see sometimes, so that's really why I want to get this lit up, is just so you all kind of realize what I'm working with here. It's going to be hard to not want to come down here and build and stay focused up on the jungle, but I'm going to stay focused up there for quite a while, but it does feel good to get this all lit up. Of course, fighting some mobs here and there. And after running around down here and racking my brain for ideas, and I do have a few ideas, but I think the thing I'm leaning towards is just have it be a really cool underground tree chopping area. I do have one over by my elven cave there, but this would just be so much bigger, and it's just already pretty well prepared to be that. It wouldn't take that much work to really make it look really cool. But for now, I'm still just worried about lighting up the area, and we have this whole area down here as well, which is connected and making the cave even crazier. Gotta find a safe way down. And then it was just a matter of lighting up again. And this area isn't quite as big as the area up top, but it's just pretty cool with the moss roof, and just the way it's laid out is pretty cool. And I got distracted seeing that it keeps on going down here, but then I ended up in a predicament. Trying to find a hiding hole and block myself in. I did not think I was going to make that. I felt really lucky to get away with that one. Well, hang out a second and let my health regenerate. And fight the mobs the easy way. Then I took a peek down and realized definite prime location for an ancient city. I don't see one at this point, but I can tell, I imagine there's one down there. And I actually got a wild hair and decided I was going to explore that. But before I did that, I wanted to just head back to the base for a second and spend a little time getting organized. For one thing, I needed some wood. I didn't want to get stuck down there without wood, as well as coal. Those are two things you really got to make sure you're well stocked with when you go down into the cave. Before I went back down, I ended up mining some easily accessible coal and iron. Might as well while I'm at it. Spent a little more time lighting up the lower section here, and it's definitely a cool area. But I was pretty curious at this point to see what I could find down this direction. And before I went down and looking for an ancient city, I got distracted by a mine shaft right here. And for the same reason, exploring these before you're all geared up makes it a little more worth it. So I thought I'd go ahead and explore this mine shaft for a little bit. Going through and lighting up all the spider spawners. Really hoping I can find a skeleton spawner down here. I definitely want to find a skeleton spawner close to my base somehow, and mineshaft is the best place to try to look for them. I did decide I better go ahead and go to sleep and set my spawn, just in case the worst happens. And then I just started exploring, putting my torch on the right so it makes it easy to navigate, having to fight some mobs here and there. But yeah, keeping torches on the right in a maze of a mine shaft like this especially, it just makes it really easy to find your way back when you need to. Just when you're trying to go back, have the torches on your left and you'll eventually find your way back. But I'm just going to let this play out for a minute. Let you see what I do or don't find. As always, lots of spider spawners, so it's nice to be able to come get string at some point and cobwebs, but other than that, it wasn't a very fruitful mine shaft. But I did spend a little time going through the lit up halls and mining a little bit. But then I ended up going down this little crevice here and seeing that, as I figured, we do have an ancient city below us here. And it's always scary doing this. And I was well aware I was doing it with 28 levels. But sometimes you gotta just risk it for the biscuit. So I put in a little waterfall. I decided to just jump right in. Now, again, these are hard to make episodes of, especially exploring ancient cities in the deep dark, just because everything's so dark. So I'm gonna cut through this a little bit, but I took some time up here at the top of my waterfall. This actually works out pretty good, just looking around and scoping the land. We definitely have a big ancient city down here, and I see a couple chests that are somewhat accessible. And I do like to just kind of work along a wall and always have an escape route plan. That's always my plan. And I saw I had this chest nearby, and I don't worry about summoning the warden. I figure it's going to happen lots of times. I just kind of creep up towards the chest and I try to hit and run as quick as I can. Here I'm just planning my route out to these chests and end up spawning them for the first time. And on my way up, I fall down. This could have been really bad. I was really scared, but I ended up going back up, figuring that I could just come up to this upper level and wait them out. But I wasn't very well prepared as far as my escape route here and ended up really having trouble getting up here. So this was somewhat of a stressful trip back, but for the most part it works pretty good. Just once you spawn the warden, just run up here and wait him out. Then I made my way back down, and now that I had the bridge put in, that's a lot less noise I need to make. Sneak as far as I can until I summon him, and then I gotta move fast. I know I left a few things here. I did end up coming back and getting them. Definitely trying not to press my luck too much here. Then I ended up finding another area up top that was a decent area to drop in, so thought I'd go ahead and do that. Also, just to have another escape route when I'm down there. It's probably better to have a few directions I can run. And again, I'm just do a little scouting from the top and see, I got a couple accessible chests here. And this one right below where I dropped onto essentially was a pretty good chest. It had the silence armor trim, which I wasn't even thinking of when I came down here, but that's a really good find. I know that's pretty rare, and a good set of diamond leggings, so that was a good chest there. Then I was making my way back up to my little base of operations up here, and I didn't realize there was even a shrieker up in this area. And I spawned the warden essentially right next to me. This was bad. I got running back here, not even knowing what was back here, actually. But I just had to get away. I didn't want to run towards them. I'm down here and I'm coming to a dead end. I don't want to fall. I'm trying. And he got me. Somehow I survived. I have nowhere to go. If I jump, I'm gone. If he hits me one more time, I'm gone. But for some reason, after shooting me, he went back in the ground. I was super surprised. I don't know why he did that. That should have been it right there. Right on the edge. That was a very close call. So we've had a few close calls in this caving session. And I did go and find the shriekers that set him off up there, because I don't want shriekers up on my top safe escape level. So it took a couple times of getting the shrieker away and running. But it all worked out. And I made my way back down, and I was actually having pretty good luck with these chests over here as far as not as many shriekers, so I was able to get into a few chests before I ended up spawning the warden this time. My second Swift Sneak 1 book, so I will have Swift Sneak 2 at this point, so that's good. Bunch of coals, never bad. The shriekers did hear me on this one, so I had to really rush to get all these books, but I did want the books because I'm trying to set up an enchanting table, but I fell in the little crevice here, and this really scared me. I had to pillar out. This could have been really bad, too. Mainly because I was all disoriented and just didn't have my sense of direction, so I was kind of running around blind at this point. Then I saw my waterfall as a savior. And this is when I decided I better not push my luck anymore. I'm already doing pretty good at this point as far as loot. Got a lot of what I came down here for, so thought I'd make my way back up and just get organized. And when I got up here, there were a whole bunch of slimes, and I was fighting them off pretty good, but I wasn't paying attention to where I was, and this guy knocked me down. Another super close call. Luckily, you can't fit down here, so I was able to wait him out. Definitely going to take note of the fact that it's a nice big slime chunk here, and I've never built a little slime farm of any kind, so if there was a place to do it, this will be a good one to remember in the future. But yeah, at this point, I decided I better stop pressing my luck. Like I said, I was pretty happy with my loot run here. Got a few enchanted books. Like I said, I'll end up with Swift Sneak 2, and Power 3 is a good one, and Protection 2 isn't bad to have. Good amount of books for my enchanting setup. Some random minerals. Couple really good sets of diamond leggings. Like I said, that was one of the main things you're looking for when you're down in a ancient city. It's always nice to come up with something there. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about our loot here. And this little area here connected to everything else we've already explored isn't too bad to have either. But yeah, up here I'm just really excited for this cave. Like I said, this lower section isn't quite as big as the upper section, but it's got the mossy ceiling, and it's definitely big enough to be able to do something cool with. Nice tall ceilings, that's always something you're looking for in a cool cave. But yeah, up here's really where the good stuff is. And I think I do have my heart set at this point on having this be a nice detailed and decorated. There will be buildings and stuff too, but have the main function of this area to be a cool tree chopping area. And that'll actually make it probably more likely that I move down here sooner than later, because I'm going to need to have a tree chopping area anyway. So, and I also don't want to put all the other trees up in my jungle, so having it underground actually works out perfect. So yeah, definitely a different episode here. Like I said, I just really wanted to show my first exploration of this cave, because I do figure it's going to be a pretty major part of my world, and to try to cut it up and squeeze it in an episode with a bunch of other stuff, it was just going to be kind of hard. So let me know what you think. I might start doing more things like this, just some little one-off, little less game time in the episode, and just really show the adventure and the process. But yeah, let me know what you think here, and as always, appreciate any likes and let alone subs if you liked what you saw here, and I always appreciate you all for coming, and have a good day.